Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Testing. Testing. Please do not be alarmed. We are broadcasting on a lost signal. Please do not attempt to adjust the dial until after the broadcast has ended. Join us for Pulp Fiction radio plays on the Lost Signal podcast. Find the signal on all platforms.
With the new MyLowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
Here's a tip for you. There's a podcast out there with fans waiting to be your next customer. They tune in every week, they trust the host, and that host wants to talk about brands like yours in their own words to their audience. The problem is, you just haven't been introduced yet. We're Acast, where that introduction happens. As the world's largest podcast marketplace, we let you browse shows, see who's listening, and book host-read sponsorships or run your own ads all from one platform. Transparent pricing, real-time data, complete control. Start advertising on podcasts by visiting acast.com/advertise.
Hi, and welcome to Rowan and Pine. We are back for episode 52. We are well into season 3 at this point. We're on the home stretch. But as you guys know, Emily has peaced out for a little bit while she deals with motherhood and babies and all of that sort of stuff that I have no idea about. So I have called in some reinforcements.
Hello.
Hello.
Everybody, please welcome Kelsey and Abby from Fairy Tale Fix. Hello, ladies.
Excited to reinforce you.
Yes.
Yeah, the cavalry. Well, like it's usually that in fairy tales, isn't it? Like there's usually a second branch of the army or something. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We should get a bugle.
My husband corrects me on like military stuff and I'm just like, all right. I have normal interests.
Yeah, I'm not going to know anything.
I can't say that I know.
That are not to do with violence.
How about like we can say we're white knighting. We're riding in on our steeds.
I love that.
And swinging our enchanted swords about.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. What we do best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every sword has to be enchanted.
Mm-hmm.
That should just be a rule. They're just better what they are. And have a name. Swords should always have names.
They should.
Always.
They should.
Even if
Cool
it's
names.
something terrible like Sword Excalibur.
Which was we
Sword Excalibur.
We recently read Jack the Giant Killer on our podcast, and they literally call the magic sword like
The Sword of Sharpness.
Sword of Sharpness. I almost said like they literally called it Sharp, but that still would have been a better
We
name.
were like, we need to rename this sword.
So we named it Sword Excalibur instead, which isn't a lot better, but it's
I prefer it.
Thank
I think
you.
that is better.
It was fun.
That episode actually accompanied me while I painted this room. I think I told you
Oh.
that I was
Nice.
binging while I was painting, and yeah,
love
so I'll
it.
just forever think of Sword Excalibur when I'm in this room.
You need your
And-
own. Do you have your own Sword Excalibur hanging on the wall, maybe?
ooh.
I need one. I really, really
Should
need
get a
one.
sword.
Everybody needs a sword on their wall.
Yeah. And speaking of, just when you were saying about like cool sword names, that's just recovered a memory of that book. It's got like terrible reviews and it's not great, but I'm pretty sure it's Quicksilver by Callie Hart, and one of the characters gets a sword and he calls it Stephen.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's great.
Okay, I might be sold. I've been on the fence about reading it because I've heard the mixed reviews, but I've like seen it
Yeah.
around, but I don't know. I might have to read that one. If the magic sword is named Stephen. Stephen's also my partner's name, so.
Mhm.
Oh, amazing.
We love a Steven.
Yeah, Stephen's a good, like, solid name.
solid
And I think
name.
that's sort of the thought behind it, because it's a reliable name. Like, you're going to rely on someone called Stephen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve is a dependable guy.
Yeah, totally.
Neve the editing gremlin here. It's been a while. So the sword's actually called Simon, not Stephen, before you guys start coming to me with the corrections. But everything still stands. Simon is a reliable name. You can rely on a Simon. Really funny moment in an otherwise not great book. So, for anybody who's not familiar with your podcast, do you want to give us a little taster, a little rundown of what you get up to on there? You are a fairy tale fix, right?
We are. So Kelsey and I, we've been talking about doing the show for a long time, and we've been friends since 13. We were 13 years
Oh, wow.
old, thereabouts. Grew up
Junior
together, went to college together, have always really enjoyed working on creative projects together. We both studied anthropology in college and discovered a mutual love of folklore and fairy tales, and had been talking for forever about starting a podcast. And then I think in was it 2022 we finally just were like, fuck it,
I
let's
think it
do
was
it.
2020 because it was during the pandemic, and you already had a
that's true.
podcast going, so you were like,
I know what I'm doing now.
Let's go for it.
Because I
Oh,
joined
nice.
I was on an actual play podcast for several years.
Okay.
So it was during lockdown. It was 2020. So we started
Yeah.
this podcast. Yeah. And we call it Fairy Tale Fix. The idea is that we read like classic fairy and folk tales from around the world and quote unquote fix it for a modern audience. That does tend to devolve into we fix it to make it like weirdly darker, or we fix it into a hashtag good for her, or we make it gayer. And those tend to be our top 3 fixes. Or we just request more information because a lot of these stories are like something happens and we're like, oh, why?
Yeah. I think that idea came from us watching movies together, and we always were very like critical. We're like, obviously it should have ended this way. And then we started, Abby actually bought me a book, or gave me a book called A Choice of Magic by Ruth Manning Sanders, which is probably our favorite author that retells fairy and folk tales from around the world. And some of them we would just, have ideas of like, oh, like, why doesn't the maiden ever have a name? Like,
Really basic stuff.
need to fix it this way. Why isn't she a witch's apprentice? Like, she was kidnapped by a witch. That's usually, I feel like, the fix that we go to.
She should have just been a witch.
Yeah. Lots of things could be solved if a lot of these characters just took charge of their own destiny and and decided to do something. Like, that's what it is. Like, a lot of the decisions just don't make any logical sense.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is because it's a lot of times men telling these stories. So they're just like, oh, they're women. The women don't know. They'll just make these stupid decisions. And yeah, that's sort of how it's explained away, especially with Irish mythology or Irish folktales in particular are really light on the details, I found. And it's usually only when you find a really good author who has adapted them that you actually get these details and answers to a lot of the questions that you're looking for. But yeah, it's a struggle for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Eking any detail out of these things.
One more question before we start. Do you have any new favorite folktales since you started creating your show?
Yeah, definitely.
So many.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. It's so hard to choose favorites because they're all so fun in their own way. I mean, most of them anyway. Some of them are all right. We try to read the fairy tales beforehand and pick the best ones. My most recent favorite is one Abby told. It's a Ruth Manning Sanders story. It's called The Laughing Apples.
Such a good story.
It's from episode 122, and it is the perfect example. I'm not sure if you heard this story, but it's the perfect example of a young maiden who just keeps making decisions. Like, she doesn't know she has her own agency or can like do her own thing. She's doing it to please her kidnapper and her father, and she's like having a struggle between which one she's going to please the most. It's so
and she's
infuriating.
so concerned about whether or not her kidnapper and her father don't like each other or have beef.
Yes.
And it's her job to fix that for them and to make sure that they're not mad at each other or at her, but mostly not at each other.
It's so classic women. It's like, it's our job to make sure everybody gets along and nobody's fighting and that, like, you smooth it over.
Do all the emotional labor.
Yeah. That story, I did listen to that episode and I was,
It's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I don't know if it's so good, but it was so fun. Like,
It was.
We were mad the whole time, I think.
Yeah. So it makes a good episode when you get mad.
Absolutely.
And Abby?
You know, so here's because we're doing this episode and we're talking about damsels in distress, of which there's a lot of that in fairy tales. But I think that the thing that I have discovered about fairy tales through this podcast that I didn't know is that, like, there's a lot of stories that aren't like that out there too, that we just don't talk about as much in our mainstream, like, Western culture, because we think about which stories are preserved, which ones get written down, which ones are turned into beloved Disney animated classics. And those tend to be your Cinderellas, your Rapunzels, your Snow Whites, etc. But there's a whole wealth of, like, really cool, like, non-damsel-y stories out there. And I think my favorite that we've discovered through this podcast is The Girl Who Pretended to Be a Boy, which we read a couple of summers ago. And it's kind of this beautiful fairy tale about a young woman who turns herself into a prince, gallivants around having all these incredible adventures with her magic horse, rescuing damsels in distress and performing, like, very, like, heroic knightly feats. And then at the end of the story, she gets to marry a princess. Or he gets to marry a princess, because the story is also very unclear and very, like, gender ambiguous. So I think that a lot of these fairy tales are queerer than we usually think about as well. And I don't know. So that became, like, a quick favorite for me. If anyone wants to read that one, we have an episode on it, and then it's also in the Violet Fairy book, which is Andrew Lang's Folklore collection.
Perfect. I will link that in the show notes of this episode because, that sounds like our audience would eat that one up.
We did. It was really fun.
Okay, it's the princess who would be a prince, and it's episode 67, and we titled it, Are You Mad at Me?
Is that
Oh, gosh.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm gonna re-listen to that one. See, we tell these stories so often, and I forget them. I need to re-listen.
Yeah, when you find them and you're so, like, excited to recommend them to other people, you want to keep them fresh in your mind and keep remembering because, like Abby said, there are so many of the classic damsels in distress and the happy ever after stories that, that's what the word fairy tale has become synonymous with, but there are so many other ones. And actually one of the ones that we'll get in today does not have a happy ending. So
okay, well, we're bracing for that then.
Yes, let's get into that. The reason why I wanted to get Abby and Kelsey on to this episode is because I've been wanting to do a deep dive into the damsels in distress archetype. So I thought, who better than two women who literally spend all of their time shit-talking stories where women are not acting as feminists.
There's a lot of them.
There are a lot of them.
We are not girls out here.
Yeah. I thought we would do a little deep dive and see where this archetype came from, how it has evolved. We'll have a couple of little stories and we'll have the ladies reacting to them. And then we'll have some final thoughts. So I hope everybody is willing to come along for the ride. So with that being said, let's start in our damsels in distress. So mythology is arguably the most powerful source of influencing and shaping society's gender identities and beliefs, providing an accurate reflection of gender roles, general attitudes, fears, and preoccupations. As we grow up with stories, they help us learn how to negotiate complex world of possibilities, as well as manage gender expectations through observing gods, heroes, and other notable characters found in myths and folklore. The damsel in distress archetype is a recurring motif in literature, folklore, and mythology, which has extended to visual media. It depicts a female character who is placed in a perilous situation and requires rescue or protection, typically from a male hero or protagonist. The character is typically young, female, beautiful, in danger, helpless, has an antagonist, and is saved by a man. Boo.
Bingo.
So, that little list there on Fairy Tale Fix, you obviously encounter different versions of the same sort of story structure in different cultures. Have you noticed there are any cultures that favor this sort of story over any others? Like, do you find it's more of a European thing, or are there
I think so.
more strong women in other
European
places?
Fairy tales. Yeah, I think the strong women kind of story seems like it comes more from like India, Korea, Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, there are and a lot of Slavic tales too.
Yeah.
Have a lot of strong women in them, and older women, which I love.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like the Brothers Grimm tales kind of have that damsel in distress. trope.
I would agree.
Would you
with
agree,
that.
Abby?
I think that European stories, especially like Western European fairy tales, tend to really emphasize more of like the helpless woman in danger trope more than others. Like, I mean, other stories still have like stories about men rescuing women a lot. Like that's still a common motif. But a lot of times in like other stories you've read from other nations, the girls tend to be really crafty in some way or have something going for them that's a little bit more, that comes from within a little bit more than sort of like your classic, you know, she's sitting in a tower waiting for someone else to figure it out. But I've also noticed that like in other cultures that we've read, I've also noticed a trend where the women characters do tend to be more outright villainous as well. Like you get a lot more like outright like evil witches or dangerous women,
pert hussies.
Yeah.
And dangerous women who are here to trap you by virtue of being so gorgeous that you just simply must take her robe and hide it in your house until she ultimately leaves you and takes all your kids with her.
That is almost like an inverse or like a perversion of like the Selkie or mermaid myth, you know?
Yeah.
Where instead of like a powerful woman, you're taking her robe. With the Selkies and mermaids, you're taking their skin, whether it's the tail or the seal skin or anything. So that's interesting that it is this source of power, like taking a part of her body or taking power over her body. And that is what she has to offer, usually. And that is what they want to show symbolizes the power over her. So that is really interesting. I hadn't come across a story where they're taking like a magical evil woman's robe. That's one that we're going to have to look out for.
I think that one's a little more separate. I was conflating the two in my mind.
Okay.
But just like, but you know, like not villainous in that sense, in the sense that like she's a literal demon who's out to hurt you, but she is dangerous just because she is beautiful. And that's...
Yes. Or there's a wildness about her, or, you know, she just... she's not easily controlled or categorized.
Unless you, you know, snatch her stuff. But
yes.
I do think there are also a lot of fairy tales that have really powerful women in them. They're just not as popular.
Yes.
Or there are different versions where in one version she's more powerful, in another she's completely powerless. I mean,
yes.
I think that's really interesting.
And we're going to encounter a little bit of that with our Rapunzel retellings, because I did find some earlier versions and I noticed that there are differences in the level of agency that the female characters within those stories have, which is very interesting, but we'll save that for later. Okay. This damsel is always helpless and needs to be rescued. This common theme of an endangered woman being rescued by a male hero perpetuates an indelible image of the incapable woman who is a victim of her own circumstance, which puts her in need of help. The fate of most women in these stories is dependent upon the male heroes not only to rescue them, but also to give them a sense of purpose. The most cliché is the story of a powerful man rescuing a vulnerable and beautiful woman in distress, otherwise translated as a prize for bravery, or in some epic poems, the spoils of war.
I love this topic.
Me too.
I really wish I want to like do like a data point and go through all of our tales and like how many have a damsel in distress and how many like are the opposite.
And then also maybe catalog how many of those are in fact European stories. Because I don't know, like like I might want to add an addendum, which is that like you and I's basis of folklore is heavily biased on what stories we've chosen to read.
Yes,
so
that's a fact.
So in some ways, like maybe we're not the best authority on declaring like whether European folktales are more damsel in distressy or not, because I think you and I just tend to choose to read stories that aren't as heavily influenced that way. And so like I don't know. So I guess there's a part of me that was thinking about my answer and being all like, I don't know if I'm actually qualified to make that declaration.
Well, based on our research, our own personal research, we're qualified in that we can give that opinion of
that's
just
definitely
what we've
my
seen.
opinion.
But yeah, we do tend to choose. But like we almost didn't read The Laughing Apples, didn't we? Like I remember you were like, this is going to be problematic in like a really interesting way.
Yeah, well, because I remember I wanted to read it. I read it myself in depth first before reading it to you, because it's so long. I didn't want to spend a long episode on a story that wasn't going to be enjoyable. And it was enjoyable, but also I was like, ooh, this is pissing me off, and it's going to piss Kelsey off too.
But those are the best, because you know you're going to get a lot of like content and a lot of reaction out of it. So yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have an interesting discussion.
Exactly.
For sure.
There's a strategy of it.
That's why we do call it, our tagline is a what the fuck fairy tale podcast, because they honestly, they make us just go, what the fuck? So often.
I love that. It doesn't always have to be about romantic love, or in the case of mythology, sex. These stories can serve as ways men can play out more paternal fantasies, as in protecting their young or their community. But even then, a female's approval is the ultimate prize, whether she be in the form of a potential mate, his own daughter, or some other representative of what's important to him. It's about achieving that goal, coming out on top, and solidifying victory. Side note, Pedro Pascal has cornered the market on that second kind of the paternal father figure rescuing a vulnerable member of his community. So he's got like 2 shows.
Absolutely.
He's got The Mandalorian. He's got The Last of Us. Like clearly that's his thing.
Oh, I love
dad core.
Yeah, he's a modern day
single dad core.
I'm trying to think of like I guess like a modern day Jack in fairy tales, where like he's the hero who goes out into the stories and does all the things, has all the adventures, and then saves all the babies. And
he's the dad who stepped up.
Yep, exactly. He's the dad that stepped up for all of us.
He's zaddy.
Yeah,
he is.
I can't believe it's taken me so long to get him mentioned on this podcast. Emily will be
Pedro
devastated
Pascal.
she wasn't on
Gosh.
it. Yeah.
Oh no.
She's like, I love him so much. Please never tell me anything bad about him.
I know.
You're so afraid to put them on a pedestal.
It's so hard these days.
Yeah.
You have your famous person that you love, especially men, and you're just like, please let me never find out anything bad about it.
And please just stay off social media.
Don't
and
say
stop
anything.
posting stuff. Yeah. Be
You
mysterious.
So I want to continue to enjoy your movies in peace. Thank you very much. Like
it's rough out there. You can't trust
it really is.
anybody.
And then I grew up on pop punk, so that's even worse, as all of the allegations come out and like everybody seems to have more and more.
Oh my gosh. I can't. Learning about like bands and the musician. Yeah, it's just like, oh, please just
anything else.
Yeah, stay a mystery.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I'd love to continue listening to this
Yeah,
music.
fade into obscurity like you were supposed to, please.
Social media is both. It's just, I mean, you know, and everyone has said it. But it just continues to be both like our best and worst invention as a species. Like it lets us meet, which is so cool, because like, you know, if we were still in like the days of letter writing, we never would have known each other at all, or heard each other's voices or opinions or thoughts about fairy tales. But like at the same time, no, I want to know less about most of the rest of you. Stop it, please.
Absolutely. I am a big believer in that we should know less about each other thing that I keep seeing commented under people's like oversharing posts. And I'm like, yeah, I fully agree. That's
Wish I knew less about you.
Speaking of what we know about people,
Great
look at that
segue.
segue.
Love
It was
it.
terrible.
No, it was
That was
fantastic.
a great segue.
Get us back
I
on
love
track.
it.
If we created a damsels in distress bingo card, what would be on there?
This is so good. I love this so much because I feel like we actually need to make
You
one
do.
now.
It has to be on your with your branding and everything, because you guys would just, if you did it like a drinking game where like you watch it,
Oh, that's such a great
watch
idea.
it like a movie or an adaptation, and you get your little yeah.
We'll have to cut you in on it now.
We kind of do that with our predictions a little
Right.
bit. Definitely. Okay, so it definitely has to be the youngest daughter.
Youngest
Yeah.
daughter, okay.
and
Always the youngest. There's
Or
usually
7.
3.
True. 7.
yeah, 3 and 7 come up a lot in like sibling groups in fairy
Okay.
tales.
Yeah.
Well, 7 is a big folklore number.
Yeah.
It's like, it's always 7 years, and like
Mhm.
for a year and 7
Yeah.
days, or a year and 1 day sometimes. But yeah,
Exactly.
7's a big one.
The 7th son of a 7th son or whatever. No name for the maiden. The maiden can't have a name.
So
She's
depressing.
just the maiden.
The girl, she's pretty.
Mhm. That's all you need to know.
Very pretty. Beautiful. Oh, that's the next bingo card.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Um,
Obviously, we said that. I'd say like isolated from parents, so living in a forest or a tower
Okay.
away from their family.
Yes. So that's at like
Classic.
at certain points in the story. It's not always like how the story opens, right? Like she might be sent away somewhere, or
she's usually
taken
sent
away.
away, and it's usually
Mhm.
anxiety caused by her growing incredible beauty that causes her parents to, or
Or
a curse,
a curse.
Curse.
like Six Swans, the Six Swans style.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sleeping Beauty. She was cursed,
Sleeping Beauty
right?
was cursed.
She
Snow White
was.
was cursed and sent away, and it's
Mhm.
your stepmother is starting to get nervous style.
Oh,
Mhm.
stepmother. That's
Evil
another
stepmother.
one. Stepmother.
Evil stepmother.
Or a mother. In a lot of the like original Grimm fairy tales by like rewritten, translated by Jack Sipes, it's actually the mother. It's not the stepmother.
Right.
That's kind of like a thing that people added later, which I think is really
To
interesting.
maybe create a little distance, like for
Exactly.
us, for our comfort with the story, as opposed to like her
Mhm.
actual literal own mother is doing
Yeah.
this to her.
Because how could she be so cruel,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Like it's
People's real
Mhm.
people's real mothers are never cruel.
you'll never get an abusive or emotionally neglectful mother ever in this fairy tale land.
Another one, Discovered in the Woods by a king or a prince.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I feel like royalty spends less time in the woods these days.
They do.
Yeah, maybe they should get back out there.
They should.
Never know who you'll find.
What was your favorite?
Of-
Abby, you were
Oh,
going to say
just
your favorite
like
trope.
Discovered in the Woods by a King is my favorite, least favorite fairy tale trope, because it usually just is like this poor woman has just gone through all of this trauma. This poor nameless woman is traumatized in the woods, minding her own business, just trying to survive, and then a king will come by and just be like, "Wow, she's hot. Put her on my horse.
Yep.
I'm taking her to my castle."
Yeah.
We shall be
We should
married,
be married
tomorrow.
It's so funny,
true.
but I hate it.
It's like
It is very funny.
it's also that's bled into musicals as well when they're like in love with each other after a single song. You know, it's just there's a suspension of disbelief and all that, but I mean, yeah, we've just as a society we've just embraced that as a trope.
Sure. When hot people meet, the love is instant.
This is a hot take. I'm literally just coming up with this, but I think this is reflective of everybody hating small talk. So everyone's like,
Oh.
what if we just skipped
Just
it?
get to it.
No dates.
Just get to it.
It's I like your vibes, and
We
you
don't wanna
like
see anybody
mine, and we're
court.
married now.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't need to know about your siblings or your mom or anything.
Mm-mm.
Don't even need to know your name.
Mhm.
You're really hot.
Yeah, for sure.
I do love that. I wonder, because and now I'm off down a different rabbit hole of like how these things show up like through literature throughout the ages. Because I'm also just thinking of like Jane Austen that there's a very like, he's rich and she's hot, and that means they're getting married.
She's hot and mean.
She's hot and mean.
That's what rich guys
And
want.
he's rich. There's like literally a line about like, you know, he's like, he is rich and she's handsome. It's like, it's a perfect match.
Perfect match.
Pair.
Yeah.
What a pair.
What else is there?
I have to say, them not having a name and just being hot is my favorite aspect of these stories, because I'm just, yeah.
So hot, so beautiful.
Yeah.
What else would be good on a bingo card?
Youngest daughter, no name, beautiful, isolated from her parents. She's cursed usually. I
Sometimes
feel like never asking questions.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of times these damsels in distress, like somebody tells them something weird. And they're just like, okay. Like a bird will come up to this young maiden in the woods and be like, oh, I'm a prince. I need you to set me free by stealing this ring at midnight tomorrow. Meet me here. And she's just like, all right. What do I have to lose?
That was an actual story.
I love the moment in your Laughing Apples story of where the horse begins speaking and she just goes, horses can talk. And he's like, not usually. And she's just like, yeah, fair enough.
Like, all right.
That was a great magic word.
In her
Wonderful.
defense, that was not the weirdest thing that's happened to her yet.
No.
That's
for
actually
sure.
pretty low on the list of crazy shit that's happened to her so far in that story.
She didn't really question a cloud coming and swooping her up and being like, this is where you live
like,
now. And she's just
okay.
like, well, okay.
That's my dad. Oh my gosh.
She had a name,
She
didn't
did.
she?
Oh God, I said it a million
She had a
times and
name.
now I don't remember it because it's like every other word in that story.
Yeah.
It would begin with a Z. Zoe.
Yeah, it was like a Z name. Zaffarana.
Saffarana.
Oh,
It
that's
is such a pretty
Gorgeous
name.
name. Okay,
Anyway.
so we have our bingo card, I think. Patent pending for Fairy Tale Fix. But just to prop us up, I have a little list of what I found to be the damsel in distress attributes.
Yes.
We have youth and beauty. So it's the immediate and predictable result of being beautiful is being chosen. This word having profound importance to a girl. The beautiful girl does not have to do anything to merit being chosen. She doesn't have to show pluck, resourcefulness, or wit. She is chosen because she is beautiful. Her only social currency is being hot.
Yep.
They are often of high social standing, or like they find out they're of high social standing,
Or
or
get elevated to highest social standing by a
they
king
get
riding
elevated
by.
to it. Mm-hmm. The word damsel is derived from the Old French word damsel, meaning a young lady of noble birth, but it has evolved to mean an unmarried girl, maid, or maiden. Even Cinderella, in some tellings, was a noble. She was born into an aristocratic or noble family as the daughter of a wealthy gentleman. I always heard merchant growing up. I always thought her father was a merchant,
Yeah.
which...
That's what I
Yeah.
thought too. But
Mm-hmm. I always find with these, there's so many retellings that like I can't account and say for definite that it's never that. So we'll take their word for it in my research. After her father's death, she is demoted to the status of a servant by her stepmother and stepsisters, or just her stepsisters. And she later marries the prince, making her royalty by marriage. So that is her social ladder climbing. Good for her.
good for her.
She usually has a nemesis. Her nemesis can take many forms, from a fire-breathing dragon to a giant ogre, an overprotective father with a hidden agenda, or, in the most misogynistic portrayals of all, an evil stepmother or jealous hag. Emily and I have half a evil stepmothers episode planned for about 2 years now. I almost did it with you guys, and then Emily was like, no, don't. So I'm saving it with her.
She's got a lot to say.
Totally
Absolutely.
understandable.
She does.
Especially as a mom. I think, are we all child free?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume being a mom, that would really like piss you off in some sort of way.
Yeah, the thought of, so, like, even if you have nieces, nephews, nibblings, the thought of somebody treating a child really badly, just if you have a child in your life that you see all the time, like, it must fuck you
Yes.
up, you know? And then these stories are a lot of the time male power fantasies. Though they're regarded as feminine stories, they do in a sense read like male power fantasies. From a male perspective, there is this deep-seated need to prove one's worthiness. They can do this by overcoming impossible odds, passing tests of strength or mental prowess. It's the desire to be first and never last. The woman at the end is not a mere prize, otherwise she could easily be replaced by a loot crate or a puppy. It has to be a woman because only a woman can truly judge the man's worthiness. She stands as proof of his prowess even if she doesn't get with him at the end. Many damsel in distress stories don't end that way. The damsel in distress can end up with someone else or not even be the object of his affection in the first place. I think there's a whiff of transactionality here. The nice guy who acts like showing basic human decency to women should result in sex or love, or at least some kind of special recognition, just because he's didn't let her die.
Yeah.
You know, like
The bar is
It's
so
good
low.
for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So about sort of because it is interesting because like I especially see like the male power fantasy aspect of the damsel in distress in stories like Jack the Giant Killer, where the protagonist is a young man who is out sort of like making his way in the world, proving himself, you know, showing that he's the quickest and the bestest and the strongest and the smartest and the most giant killingy of them all.
With the best sword.
At the end of the story, he is rewarded with a princess we never actually meet within the story. And I love how you just say it's like she might as well be a loot crate or a puppy. For all the interest the story has in her. Something that like what one of Kelsey and I's earlier episodes was talking about, like, so like, you know, when you have a story that's more of a Cinderella, for example, these are stories that were largely like told by women to other women as a way to pass the time during, you know, tedious chores like sewing and cooking and all of the things that women have to do to make everyone around them's lives work. And so they tell each other these stories, like, so the interesting kind of like patriarchal angle on those is like, it's still such a male coded power fantasy, even when women tell these stories to each other, because within the bounds of that society, your fantasy can really only take a couple of different forms within your culture. Like the fantasy story for all of these women is, maybe someday my drudgery will end because a man will see value in me that's not darning his socks or cooking his food, you know, and I'll be spirited away to a life of luxury where I don't have to do this ever again. And that, so like, even within the stories we were telling, you know, using the royal we in terms of just women everywhere, even in the stories we tell to each other, they fall under this, like, our own patriarchal society, and the things we think to aspire to are so like walled off in that. I don't know. I just think it's such an interesting topic.
Living in a reality where it's so beyond the realm that they would have their own household without a man involved, or they would just live with their friends. Like, they couldn't even imagine something like that.
Yeah.
Like, there always had to be a man who came along and recognized them for some tenuous thing, that it's usually something that would be very, like, there's very beautiful, or he heard her beautiful voice, or whatever it is, that a lot of women, maybe they have that going for them, so maybe that feeds their fantasy. They know that, well, that could be me, you know, they'll identify with the female character in that way.
Exactly.
You know?
But we do find these stories like the one that I mentioned earlier about like a girl who turns herself into a prince and goes out and swings her own magic sword around for a story. And so I also think about, because these stories were all told, like the Brothers Grimm especially, these stories were all told by women to other women to pass the time. But who collected these stories? Who decided which ones to write down? Who decided which stories were going to be preserved? And I think that's where this idea of the male power fantasy as it relates to a traditionally feminine class of storytelling comes into it. So I just
And that's why we have so much fun on our podcast, because we get to fix the stories how we like them. And I think one of my favorite examples of this is Tatterhood.
Okay.
At the end, she becomes beautiful and her wooden spoon turns into a wand. In our fix, her wooden spoon turns into a sword and she chops the head off that shitty prince and like goes on and like does her own like pirate sister adventure thing that we have in our heads.
Yeah. And
So,
everything would be
it's very fun.
damn right if a woman like just got on a ship by herself at the end of it and just went, nah, screw this popsicle stand. I'm off for
Go have some
adventures of my own.
adventures.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Hi everyone, Emily here.
And Neve over here. We're just popping in right before the ads to let you know that a rating, review, or recommendation is like a magic growth potion for your favourite podcast. As an indie podcast, we really do rely on word of mouth and people recommending us to each other to get on the right algorithms and right feeds. So if you're following us on social media, please take the time to throw us a little tag, show us what you're doing while you listen. We're nosy, we love that. Or if you don't want anything to do with that whole mess, just a rating or a review will do. The links to all of our socials are in the link tree, which is in the episode description. That includes our Patreon, which is where we upload everything early and ad-free, including some fun extras for paid tier members.
Go check it out, and fuck yeah, folklore.
With the new Milo's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
Do you keep hearing podcast ads, like this one, for example, but always wonder how you actually get involved with them for your own brand or organization? Well, it's easier than you think. We're Acast, and we give you the platform to do it all yourself. Browse thousands of popular podcasts, choose the shows that match your perfect audience, set your budget, and launch. And if you want a hand, our podcast specialists are there to help you launch with confidence. This is podcast advertising without barriers. Get started at acast.com/advertise.
So, one of the earliest portrayals of a damsel in distress is in the Greek myth of Andromeda. The story of Perseus and Andromeda is reasonably well known from the hero's side, but not so much focus has been given to the woman he saved. The myth tells us that Princess Andromeda, daughter of King Cepheus of Ethiopia and his queen Cassiopeia, had been promised to Cepheus's brother Phineus as a bride. Incest alarm. She's promised her uncle. Cassiopeia, the ultimate almond mom, claimed that she was more beautiful than all of the water nymphs in the sea, which angered the nymphs greatly. You do not say that. Oh my God.
Don't piss off the nymphs.
This also royally pisses off Poseidon, who probably had to listen to the nymphs complaining. And he sets out to punish Cassiopeia for her arrogance. As part of this punishment, he sends the monster Catus to ruin the kingdom's coastline. So Catus produced a ravishing storm, tearing apart ships and villages, and as the waters rose, the area became flooded. In desperation, Cepheus consults with the Oracle of Apollo, who delivers the news that their salvation lies in sacrificing their daughter to the monster. King Cepheus commands that his daughter be chained to a seaward-facing rock where she would await her terrible fate. The story goes on to say that a certain Perseus, who we at Rowan Pine hate on principle for what he did to Medusa.
3,000%. Fuck Perseus forever. Cool horse, though.
Fuck Perseus. Yeah, absolutely. Perseus catches sight of Andromeda on the rock and decides that he likes what he sees. He offers to save Andromeda for the king and queen as long as he gets to marry her afterwards. See, this is the shit. He couldn't have just saved her. He had to secure the bargain first. You know, fuck Perseus.
I'll save her if.
Yeah, because he's apparently a massive creep. I wrote that down.
3,000%.
Perseus then saves a sobbing Andromeda, kills the monster, and walks off with his prize. In this early take, as in most damsel stories that follow, we see the male hero save the day and get the beautiful girl. Fuck Perseus.
Say it again.
Other
Say it louder.
Perseus.
Perseus.
Title of the episode, Fuck Perseus.
man.
Yes.
Other prominent mythological damsels in distress are Hesione, daughter of the king of Troy. She was chained to a rock for a sea monster.
Yeah.
They love to do that. They love chaining women to rocks.
Yeah. We had a Selkie story, actually, and that was done with one of them as well, which, what the hell? She was rescued by Heracles, aka Hercules. Choose your poison if you want Greek or Roman. Fuck Hercules too.
Well, fuck Heracles.
We have
Hercules, the Disney character, is an adorable golden retriever.
Yeah. And Megara is the opposite of a damsel in distress, really. Yeah. She has some damsel elements, but like...
She subverts the
She's a himbo.
Damsel in distress.
Exactly.
I'm a damsel.
We have...
He's like, you need help, right? He's asking for consent, you know?
Yeah.
He's love that for him.
Oh. I need to rewatch that again. It's been way too long.
I'm going to have to put that one on later, I think.
We have Danae, who was imprisoned by her father in a bronze tower, then set adrift at sea in a chest with her son, Perseus. So he should have fucking learned. Persephone was kidnapped by Hades, the god of the underworld, while gathering flowers. But they have now become the goth couple everybody loves. So she's sort of evolved.
Being a Greek woman in mythology.
We just love a woman
really
who does both. Find a woman who can do both.
Yeah. In Hindu mythology, we have Sita from the Ramayana, who is the embodiment of divine purity. Sita is abducted by the demon king Ravana and imprisoned on the island of Lanka. She requires rescue by her husband, Lord Rama, backed by an army of Vanaras, who are a race of divine forest-dwelling beings. And it led to an epic mythological war. In Japanese folklore, we have the Kushinada Hime. To appease the terrifying 8-headed serpent, Yamata no Orochi, an elderly couple, is forced to sacrifice their daughters. They hide Kushinada Hime by turning her into a comb. I love the inanimate objects when they show up.
I know.
It's just like, are you still talking? Like, what's going on here?
That's a great way to hide someone.
Yeah. It's just put in your purse.
That's fair enough.
Out of sight. The storm god Susanoo O spots her, agrees to defeat the serpent, and marries her as a reward.
Good for him, I guess.
I mean, is he into combs? Like, did he see her as a comb? That's so many questions. I really need to...
She was a hot comb.
She was a hot comb.
She was so hot it transcended her physical form.
She's the
like, no matter what
comb.
she was turned into.
He had his pick of the ladies in the sea, but yeah, this comb was 10 out of 10. Love her teeth or whatever.
You know,
combs have teeth,
it's
right?
also it's best not to probe too much at the things gods are into in these stories. Don't worry about it.
And from Celtic mythology, we have Deirdre of Sorrows. And I will be asking both of you for if you have any fixes after this. And before I forget, I just wanted to say, on behalf of Ireland, thank you so much for covering Irish myths and folklore in such a respectful way. It's so nice to hear something and it's not cringe. Like, there are so many times I avoid a lot of like other podcasts, or I avoid people when they adapt, if they're not really from here, when they adapt like Irish mythology, there's a lot of, it's a little bit twee, or it's, they make fun of it a little bit too much and I start feeling a bit protective of it. But I never get that with you guys when you do your Irish folklore.
That means so much to us. We worry about that so much.
Absolutely not. Like,
and with every culture and their stories, because we know,
like, I don't want to mock someone's mythology like too much. I want to poke light fun at it without being like, this is stupid. But
absolutely. And you never cross the line, which I really appreciate. So
that makes my whole life. Thank you, Neve. I really appreciate that.
Oh, I'm glad. Okay, so this story has about 30 different iterations of it. So I have gathered what I believe is the most interesting aspects and put them all together. And I just want to shout out a podcast called Candlelit Tales for helping me with a lot of the... So the names in this are Old Irish. I would have learned Modern Irish in school. The Old Irish names are a little bit more difficult for me, so I just needed to check a couple of them. But They are great. So if anyone's listening to this from Ireland and anything is wrong, a blanket disclaimer that some of my pronunciations might be not what people are used to, but I did consult another more official and experienced Irish folklore podcast, and I'm using their pronunciations. So, Candlelit Tales, thank you very much.
Your guess is definitely better than ours, so.
Okay. In the time when kings ruled Ulster with druids at their side, a prophecy was spoken that set a tale of sorrow in motion. On the night Deirdre was to be born, Cruthur MacNassa feasted in Philemid the Harper's hall. Philemid was especially jubilant due to the imminent birth of his first child, and asked for a prophecy so he would know his child's fate.
Oh, never ask for that.
No, you never want to know. My God. We have like a whole thing on pregnancy, like divination and superstitions, and
I can't wait. Is
a
that
lot
a
of the stuff
episode?
is stuff you probably wouldn't want to know. It's like a short episode, so
I'm
doesn't take too long.
Curious.
Cava the druid laid his hands on the mother's belly and said the child would be a girl. She was to be named Deirdre, and she would grow into unmatched beauty. Such beauty that she would marry the king and would break his army, the Red Branch, apart. Of course, they're the most beautiful. They're always just unmatched. Mm-hmm.
Break his army apart. We don't want that, right? Like, okay,
No.
so she's gonna Guinevere it up, and got it.
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much so. The warriors who were in attendance immediately called for the infant's death, but Cruthur forbade it. He said that he would take the child and raise her in secret until she was old enough to be his queen. Gross. For context, though, Cruthur is quite young.
Okay.
I'm not sure what age he is meant to be, but slight backstory on Cruthur.
Please.
So Cruthur is king of Ulster at this point. He was supposed to be only king of Ulster for 1 year, but his mother was marrying the actual king of Ulster, and she convinced the actual king of Ulster to give up his kingship for 1 year and let her son be king, so that she would always have children or grandchildren who were the sons and daughters of a king. So she wanted to make sure that the stepson, her own son, was within the royal line.
Okay.
But he was so popular that they just kept him on as king.
Got it.
And the real king of Ulster he's in this story, he's sort of an advisor. Very patient man, because I wouldn't have hung around.
Maybe he didn't really want to be king, and it was one of the reasons why he was like, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe he was burnt out. He was like, I'm going on stress leave.
Yeah.
This is too much.
I love it.
I just want to marry my hot wife.
Whatever you want, babe. Okay, so he's a boy king sort of situation.
He's a boy king, yeah. I'm not sure quite how young, but he does say that he's going to wait for this baby to grow up.
And
So she
they
can
all
be
have the little
queen.
timer of when they turn 18 or when she turns 18.
Yeah, on one of those gross websites. It's like Emma Watson and Deirdre.
The Olsen twins.
Yeah. God, the 2000s were such a dark time, weren't they? My
Yes,
God.
they
That was
were.
a dark time to grow up a
Jesus.
girl.
Very dark. Can you fucking believe that? Like every time I see clips of, what is it, Ashton Kutcher being all excited that they're going to turn 18 or something. And it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
It is so gross.
It's so
gross.
weird.
And now,
I
like,
can't imagine.
it's still slightly going on now that there's like countdowns to people getting an OnlyFans, which is
Oh, yeah. Wow.
equally as gross. But I guess she's kind of choosing it for herself. Who knows?
At least she's making money.
If there really are. True. And she owns the copyright of her images.
I guess that's a
There you go.
Yeah.
better.
Mhm. So Deirdre grew in a hidden valley under the care of Lowercombe, a wise woman. I love Lowercombe. And her blind labourer far from the world. Cruthur visited from time to time, watching her become the woman the prophecy had promised. Creep. What the hell?
No,
Still
you
a
go
baby
away.
at the start.
You go away
peeking
until
in.
she's an adult.
Is she hot yet?
Pretty much.
Is she hot enough?
Just
to
showing up
marry
like,
yet?
she hot yet?
Mhm.
Her interests went beyond those of a noble young lady. She longed to be outside and begged to learn to hunt, kill, and trap with the labourer.
Ooh.
One winter morning, so she's got like this whole survivalist thing going on,
She's
which
got
I
a bit
really,
of a
really like.
personality. She has interests.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and she wants to hunt and kill. That's badass.
One winter morning, Deirdre saw a raven feeding on the blood of a slaughtered calf, black on white snow, red beneath its beak. She said she would love only a man who bore those three colours: hair black as a raven, cheeks as red as blood, and skin white as snow. So that's your twist on Snow White I've ever heard of.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
And I do love that she's like, this is what I'm into.
Yeah.
I love that for her. She seems
I
awesome.
like Deirdre.
I love this character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Crúthur, her promised king, was very famously like flaxen haired, fair haired. So that was probably
so
a
he
big
does
part of it.
not meet her criteria.
She's not into that man that comes and checks them off.
Yeah.
Loracum tried to turn her from the thought, but at last admitted that such a man lived. Nisha, son of Ushnuk, the finest young warrior in Ulster.
I had to tell her. I couldn't not
She's like,
tell
she
her
was so
that her
specific.
dream husband is out there somewhere.
Deirdre pestered Loracum to let her see Nisha, but Loracum refused. She told the girl she'd see him when Crúthur MacNassa married her and took her to Owen Macha with him. But Deirdre would not be put off. She begged Loracum to let her see Nisha, and eventually Loracum relented. When Deirdre finally saw him, her fate and his were sealed. I love that she just would not let this drop.
Nope.
I love that she has the agency of being like, no, I want this man.
Finest young
Love
warrior,
that.
you say. Hair black as a raven, you say. Nisha knew she was promised to the king, but she placed a geis upon him, and he could not refuse her. Have you encountered geishes before?
She has magic? Like
So Loracum, which the thing with these retellings where they don't explain things, so Loracum is a wise woman, so she has magical powers. So
and
Deirdre has been raised by Loracum, so
my
I imagine that this is where it's...
Witch's apprentice.
Yes.
this is fantastic.
She's essentially getting this education.
And is a geish the same as a geas? Like you've a magical
Yes.
compulsion?
Yes. So I'm not sure how the word has evolved in English, but Geasa is the plural of geis.
Oh,
So it's gesa.
Okay.
So somehow in English that just became guess. So it's the same thing. It's a magical compulsion, usually associated with the fairies. Sometimes not really in this context, but yeah. And this is not the only one in this story, which is also interesting.
Oh my god, I'm loving this story so much. This is so much fun.
It's got everything.
It's got everything. Absolutely.
So she placed a geis on Nisha, and he could not refuse her, which, not loving that for the consent, really. But she is a lady who
I
seems to know
support
what she
women's
wants.
rights and wrongs.
And wrongs. Exactly. On a warning from Loracum, he fled with her, and his brothers Anla and Arden went with them. There is no mention of it being a poly relationship, but in my head it is. Because his two hot brothers go too.
Oh, absolutely.
They crossed the sea to Scotland, and the brothers pledged to fight for the king there. But the king of Scotland grew suspicious that they never bedded down with the rest of his warriors, and one night followed them into the wild. As soon as he saw Deirdre, he wanted her for himself. And so Deirdre and her protectors fled. This lady, she can't get a break. Every dude who sees her is just like, mine.
She's too hot.
She's too hot.
She's too hot.
She's pretty much like the Celtic Helen of Troy. Like she's the face that launched 1,000 spears, I guess, in the context.
Pale guys with swords.
Exactly. They lived for years in the wild places of Scotland, hunting by day and returning to Deirdre's hearth at night. But back in Ireland, Crúthur's anger did not fade. Fergus MacRee, who loved the sons of Ushnuk, so he's the rightful king. He's the real king.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Fergus MacRee, who loved the sons of Ushnuk, pleaded for their return until the king agreed. Fergus sailed to Scotland to bring them home under his protection. When Nisha heard his shout from the shore, he rose in joy, but Deirdre grew troubled. She told him that she had dreamed of a raven carrying honey from Ireland that turned to blood when it landed. Nisha dismissed the dream, and they agreed to return. Love all the raven symbolism in this.
Yes.
But also, Nisha, why are you dismissing what she said? Like, she clearly, she put a fucking magical compulsion on you. Like, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She
If
knows
she's having
what she's
prophetic
about,
dreams,
Nisha.
maybe listen. Yeah, Jesus. Man. My
I know
God.
you want to go home and it wasn't necessarily your decision to come out here in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And we're here with your brothers.
Mhm.
That you probably weren't really into them coming either, but okay.
Whatever.
Imagine the domestic disputes just living with your guy who you put a magical compulsion on and his two brothers.
His two confused
Like-
brothers. Like, are they under
Yeah.
a magical compulsion as well? I didn't.
They don't seem
Okay.
to be. It just seems to be. They've only mentioned Nisha being under it, so
Got it. Well, his brothers are ride or die because they're just kind of like,
absolutely.
you want to elope to Scotland with the king's fiance? Absolutely. We will come with
Yeah,
you and we
down.
will
Do
we
it.
support you.
Let's
We will
fucking go.
we'll make this happen
We will pledge to the King of Scotland for you.
for you.
And yeah, and live in the wilderness. Jesus Christ. I don't know anybody who loves me that much. But Crúthar, knowing that Fergus was under his own gash, okay, this is my favourite one, right? Fergus's gash was that he must never refuse an invitation to a feast thrown in his name. So he's just
Same.
I'm under the
party
same gash.
monster. Yes.
Yeah, same. That's relatable as hell.
That's
It's like,
fantastic.
it's for me.
It's for
okay,
me?
Jesus, I have to go then.
I can't miss my own party.
Yeah.
No.
So Crúthar basically organised for this party to be thrown in Fergus's name, knowing that he would have to go to
He
it.
has to go. That's great.
So this caused him to be waylaid for the journey back, and Fergus was forced to send the party ahead under the protection of his son Féiche. Upon their arrival at Owen Macha, Crúthar ordered the party to be taken to the Speckled House. This was an absolute nightmare of interior design. It was where the weapons of the Red Branch hung on the mantle, and the heads and blood of their enemies decorated the walls. So that's not really a guest house. It's just more of a threat.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a pretty metal
metal.
threat, but
Mhm. I mean, if they were fake heads and fake blood, that would be pretty cool to go to.
yeah.
But
Not
clearly.
not the real stuff, no.
Yeah, the smell alone and the
Yeah.
fear.
So Deirdre felt danger gathering.
Sure.
Yeah, no shit, girl. Jesus, you're in the blood house.
Yeah. Very intuitive. Go on.
Crúthar sent Lorcum to spy on Deirdre in the Red Branch Inn. He wanted to know if Deirdre had retained the beauty that would cost the lives of the sons of Uisneach. So yeah, is she still hot? It went
Yeah,
from,
did she
she hot yet?
Did she turn 30?
Yeah,
And they're
she's
like,
still
oh,
hot.
is she still? I don't know.
Desperate to protect Deirdre from the vengeful king, Lorcum lied and reported that Deirdre had lost her beauty entirely.
She
Suspecting
is
the deception.
so old. You would not believe.
Yes, she is.
She has crow's feet
She's
now.
got gross, like, you wouldn't believe the smile lines on this chick that just really ruined the smooth.
She no longer looks like
She
a
needs
child.
an upper blef. Like she just,
Those
she needs Botox.
Yes.
Like she doesn't look like herself. I do love that Lorcum tried to lie on her behalf.
Yeah.
It was just like, no, she's gross now.
She's
You
gross.
don't want her anymore.
awful.
Mm-hmm.
Marry someone else for sure.
So Crúthar did not believe this. He sent another spy to verify. So this spy was peering in through the window, and Nisha, upon seeing him, struck out the man's eye with a chess piece. So that's pretty good aim. You got to be
Nice.
throwing that really hard from far away. Holy shit. The spy returned to Crúthar and said that he would give his other eye just to see Deirdre again. That's how hot she was.
Wow. That's pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
I love that like description of how hot she is.
like-
I'd give my
It
other
would
eye.
be worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's like, bro, she is still hot. I would give my other eye to see her again. Who would we cast as Deirdre? For some reason, I'm like picturing Christina Hendricks.
I do.
Just because, like, the red hair.
I do think she's absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Other like red-haired actresses that I think are like stunning. Jessica Chastain,
Yes.
so beautiful. And then also just because
Mhm.
all of the God of War controversy is coming out, I just sort of like Deborah Ann Wall. Let's
Deborah Ann Wall, yes.
throw her in there.
Yeah.
She played
Absolutely.
Jessica in True Blood. Kelsey, do you remember?
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
her.
Mm-hmm. And
She's
she's She's really into like D&D. Doesn't she have like a D&D podcast or something?
Yeah, she has a really lovely live action or live actual play.
Beautiful.
She's really good at, yeah.
She seems like a good person, and like it's just that level of fame is cool where you just get to do whatever you like and do your nerdy things.
I absolutely love that for her.
Same. Jealousy rose in the king and he ordered the attack. The brothers formed a ring around Deirdre. They really are ride or die. And fought as long as their strength held. But Kava cast a spell. This was the druid that predicted her whole fate. He cast a spell that made the ground beneath them turn to a dark sea, and exhaustion dragged them down. However, they were taken alive. Crúthar said he would not kill them himself, but he offered a reward to any man who would. This is where Nisha's past sort of catches up with him.
Okay.
So Manya Roughhand, who was Prince of Norway,
Great name.
whose father Nisha had slain, stepped forward.
Ooh,
He was like, yeah, I'll kill him.
I'll fucking kill him.
He's got a score to settle.
His last name is Roughhand? Or his nickname
Roughhand,
or
yeah.
something?
I think it's like a battle title.
Sure, yeah.
So it's pretty cool. He was a bit of a notorious warrior, so once the brothers see him, they're just like, our only request is that we die together, because they know that it's the end for them.
Ride or die. Holy shit.
And so they did. When Fergus returned and saw the bodies, he burned Awanmaka and left Ulster with half of the Red Branch army.
Ooh, okay.
So the prophecy
Comes
is fulfilled. And for anyone who is even slightly familiar with Irish folklore, where he ends up is with Queen Maeve. And that's when her whole story begins.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is nearly like a prequel. So Deirdre was taken by Crúthar and kept in a fine house, but she would not look at him or speak to him. After a year, good for her.
Good for her.
If that's your only power, that you won't look or speak to somebody.
Yep.
Ugh. After a year, he asked if there was any man she hated more than him. She said only Manya Roughhand, for he had killed Nisha. Crúthar said then that she would be given to Manya. So he's like,
an asshole.
I'm done with you. After all of that he went through to get her.
You know,
See, this is the power.
she's just not cooperating.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
everything I did,
Yeah.
letting you grow up in
everything
a
I did for
castle
you.
without me,
Yep.
Yeah.
Kept away in the woods.
kept away in the woods.
Made you go into hiding.
I'm gonna make you marry the man that killed your lover, bitch.
On the journey, with Crúthar on one side and Manya on the other, and this is the sad ending, guys. Deirdre looked up at the cliffs above the road. She leaned from the chariot and struck her head against the rock, her last act of her own volition, ending her life. She was buried near Nisha and his brothers. Crúthar ordered stakes driven between their graves so they never would touch. What a dick.
What a petty bitch.
But the stakes took root and 2 trees grew, one from Deirdre's grave and one from Nisha's, and their branches twined together above the earth. And I would like to finish off with this beautiful quote from, there's a 1910 play based on this story, and the last line is delivered by Luricum, and she says, Deirdre is dead, and Nisha is dead, and if the oaks and stars could die for sorrow, it's a dark sky and a hard and naked earth we'd have this night in Owen. So sad.
It's so tragic and
That's so
beautiful.
beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
so hard to fix, because I feel like you want to fix it in certain ways, but then it like changes the whole story, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it does have such a beautiful, tragic ending. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sad...
I love that the 2 branches grow into like trees and just.
It's very Tristan and Isolde. So that was the twine branches as well. Yeah. Like there was no happiness ahead of her in her life. Like
Yeah.
I think that's essentially what she was looking down the road at, you know?
Yeah, so I actually kind of like that as a story of her final act of her own volition, which is to essentially free herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really
she was
that's really
reunited
sad.
with Nisha.
Yeah,
You know? Like she did get what she wanted in the very end, but yeah.
Yeah.
I could think my only fix for it is the thing that would really make it work better for me is if there was no geisha involved.
Yeah.
in
absolutely.
the initial love story.
Mhm.
Like it's hard for me personally, it's hard to forget throughout the story that Nisha is not here of his own volition.
No.
And it seems like she's so like everyone falls in love with her immediately because she's so beautiful anyway. Was that really necessary?
Yeah. And I wonder, maybe is that like part of her attraction, that he's like the one person that he knew that she was completely off limits, so he wasn't even entertaining the idea, and maybe that made him more attractive to her.
Could very much could be.
She
Mhm.
wants what she can't have.
Yeah. Because he was like, no, she's promised to the king. I'm not getting involved with
She's
that.
like, wait a minute, is this not working for you? That's impossible.
I'm not pretty enough for you. Like for you to want to risk everything.
But I manifested you literally from like a raven eating a dead calf. My God.
It's fate, baby. Come with me.
I don't know. I kind of like that she's witchy like that.
Yeah.
Like I
I
said.
do like that she's witchy. It's true.
Yeah.
That's rights and wrongs. That's kind of, and I feel like that's something that gives her like a power. Like she is
I just
powerful,
want her to use
and
it on
she,
other people, you know? Like,
yeah,
Mhm.
right. Use it on someone else, on other people to make them not be so
go gay
obsessed with
shitty
you, or
people.
to-
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that there was no talk of her trying to diminish her beauty
Yeah.
because of all of this, because other people can't control themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the line of the guy who would give up his other eye just to see her again. Like, she's that hot. I want to see her.
Yeah. What a reputation.
I want to see a
have.
pretty lady.
Holy shit. I would like a little bit more if this was ever like adapted. I would like a lot of time dedicated to her survivalist phase in the woods, learning witchcraft, learning hunting and trapping, probably learning how to put geishas on people.
Yeah. Well, and then
Like,
that explains how they live so long in Scotland. Is she knows everything.
Yeah. Because there are some versions of the story where she and Nisha have children while they're in Scotland.
Oh, cool.
Because they're there for decades and decades, but
Yeah.
it's sort of narratively, it like slows down the story a lot because there are children. And it's a lot more fairy tale like if she's still a maiden by the time she comes back, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Even though
Yeah, that's the fix is Hollywood. Are you listening?
Seriously.
Quit making Cinderella. This story is right here.
Yeah.
And it's free because it's like public domain folklore, mythology. Like, come on.
Absolutely. There's a play based on it. Like, there's so much that you could do. Like, I actually made a post not long ago at the time of recording saying that, like, all girls want is a multi-season HBO adaptation of Irish mythology.
Yes, that is exactly it.
That's all we want, please.
because it's such good soap opera. Like, it's excellent
Yes.
drama in addition to being full of hot people and magic. Give it to us.
And as you mentioned, it's kind of a prequel. You have a whole other story after this that
Yes.
could be the spin-off or like in the same, like once this story's complete.
Yeah. Like, and they filmed Game of Thrones here already, so you already have all those castles and all that crap built, so.
Exactly. Like, you still have a lot of the sets.
That's the fix.
Mm-hmm. And
wanna see
the
it so
weapons
bad.
makers and everything, like, they're all still here. Give them jobs.
Please.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's the main fix. Just HBO, please adapt this.
Please.
It is such rich fodder for a great fantasy drama.
So good.
Yeah.
And I love that she is, as much as she is sort of a victim of her own beauty and her own circumstance where she's sort of forced to flee and she's pushed from pillar to post, she is also, she does exert control over what she can. And she really does try and take back control for herself.
Yeah.
Especially with the very last act.
I'm very
you know?
proud of her. Well, and even in the beginning as a child, she knows that this king that comes to visits is her intended. Like, she knows that the expectation is that she'll marry him. And she's like, nope, he is super ugly to me. I will only marry. And then she manifests it, like you said, and makes it happen for herself. Like, she has so much agency within her own story in a lot of ways. And
Exactly.
I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love this one. And I wasn't really completely familiar with it before I researched it for this. I just sort of knew the name and the basic bones of the story. So I like it even more than I knew I would.
Had you
So-
seen the play?
No, never seen it. I actually just came across the play when I was researching.
Got it. Okay.
Because there was a lot of quotes that were coming up and I was like, where are these coming from? Like, I was hoping that the play had been made into a film, but as far as I'm aware, it has not.
That's too
So-
bad. Hollywood,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
And right there is where we're actually going to leave that recording for this episode. We talked so long, we had a proper yap, and it was so much fun that we ended up talking for almost 2.5 hours. And considering a standard episode is supposed to be 45 minutes, I figured I would split it up and make sure that you get all of the goodness and all of the amazing insight that Kelsey and Abby helped provide for this episode. The next episode will be out the same day the following week. So if you are listening on Patreon, it will be Tuesday the 14th. If you are listening anywhere else, it will be Wednesday the 15th of July. You get a double episode because I am your fairy godmother. I don't make the rules. That's the way it works. Be sure to drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe, go say hi to Kelsey and Abby, do all that nice stuff to invite the good karma, and we'll see you here again next week. Fuck yeah, folklore.
With the new Milo's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
Here's a tip for you. There's a podcast out there with fans waiting to be your next customer. They tune in every week, they trust the host, and that host wants to talk about brands like yours in their own words to their audience. The problem is, you just haven't been introduced yet. We're Acast, where that introduction happens. As the world's largest podcast marketplace, we let you browse shows, see who's listening, and book host-read sponsorships or run your own ads all from one platform. Transparent pricing, real-time data, complete control. Start advertising on podcasts by visiting acast.com/advertise.